Gentlemen, I understand. Sometimes when you are denied sex, it can be a really, really painful experience. You love her, you don't understand why she is not willing to give you some, and it can be a bone of serious contention in a relationship, especially if she's a woman who already did give you and suddenly has decided to abstain. Or maybe you met a lady who just has refused to give you sex from the very beginning, and it's almost a deal breaker for you. You're really contemplating whether you want to be in that relationship with her or not. Well, this video hopefully is going to be throwing some light on a few things, and I'm hoping that by the end of the video you will, be able to make some very important decisions for yourself and for this lady that you seem to care a lot about. So don't go anywhere, and I will jump into it right after this. Welcome back. My name is Jessica. This is my YouTube channel. Today's video is sponsored by Passion Air and Lemonade Finance, a remittance company that allows people in the UK, Canada, and the US to send money to Africa. And I'll be telling you exactly how they do that later in the video. For now, though, let's jump into our topic for today. Gentlemen, listen, when she's not giving you sex, avoid making these mistakes. Now, make sure you stick till the end of the video because I will be telling you what exactly you need to do instead. All right. Now, number one, sleeping around with other women. Now, I know it might be really tempting. I mean, after all, the woman that you really want to be with is not willing to give up the cookie. And, for a lot of men, like I said, it will be a deal breaker. It'll be a really tough thing to put yourself through because, your hormones are raging. When you see her, all you want to do is just pounce on her, literally. But you need to take a hold and take control of how you feel if you are going to be able to really advance further with this woman and get anything meaningful out of her. And jumping too quickly to satisfy your urges elsewhere may jeopardize that, especially if it's if it's a relationship that you mean to continue and to pursue. Why? Simply because she could catch you. Women have a sixth sense, and it's very easy for us to usually tell when a man is cheating. If she won't catch you today, one day or someday soon, you will slip up. She'll find a message on your phone. She'll find a used condom or condoms in your pocket. I mean, there are always ways that men some way, somehow slip up and always give themselves away when it comes to the women that they date, especially when they're cheating. Number two, don't make the mistake of threatening her to break up. Now, this is something that has happened to quite a number of women, and if you probe further, they may tell you their personal stories, where they meet a guy, the guy thinks, okay, he's gonna, get her into bed. She refuses to engage, especially early on in the relationship, and then he threatens or asks for a breakup because she's not willing to go down and have sex with him. Now, the reason that's a bad idea is she will take you straight from being in the gentleman category to being in the dick category. Yes, she is not going to take you seriously, and nothing you say from that point on will matter because she will feel that all you wanted is her body. And really, when you think about it, that's exactly what it is, because how come that the minute she decided not to give her body, give herself to you, you decided that you did not want that relationship anymore? It's only youngins who do that. It's only immature men who behave like that. I mean, if even your ultimate goal was to just bed her, certainly that's not the way to approach it. And it's only, like I said, immature men who will threaten or say they were going to break up with the women if they do not give them sex. Women will tell you about these experiences. It happens every single day. And there's some immature men running rampant who are guilty of such behaviors. So guess what? You threaten her that you're going to leave, and then she takes your threat seriously. Maybe, on the other hand, your threat was not even that serious. You just wanted to sort of nudge her a little bit and see if she would give it up because she loved you so much. But then she also took a step back and said, hey, wait a minute, if this guy wanted to leave me just because I wouldn't give him sex, then maybe he didn't really love me from the start. And then she also takes a certain posture and decides, well, maybe this relationship isn't for me. In the end, guess who loses out? you, my brother. So if you come back 3 days later and you try to beg, she will just show you the door, and that will be the end of that potential relationship. Number 3, ceasing to be generous or ceasing to do all the good things you used to do for her. So let's say you were really forthcoming where she was concerned. You would do whatever she wanted. You were a really positive person where she was concerned. You were at her beck and call just because you really loved her company and that kind of thing. And suddenly, when she decided not to give you sex anymore, you turned cold. You just wouldn't be available to her anymore and that kind of thing. Straight away, the communication that comes her way is, the only reason this guy was really giving me all the attention, all the love and being there for me was eventually to try to get into my pants, to get into my knickers. And because I said no, he is not trying to do that anymore, or he's not willing to do all the things that he wanted to do for me anymore. Now, of course, that's a red flag for her, and straight away tells her that you were never genuine, you were never for real. And if you were a guy that she was even going to consider from the beginning, she will never take you seriously to start with. And so certainly, if a woman refuses to give you sex, be it a woman who refused from the start or started giving you sex and then at some point decided to pull the brakes, I don't think the next thing you have to do is to try and like squeeze her, so to speak, in a sense of not being so nice, not being so accommodating or so generous anymore, because that straight away sends a very wrong signal. I don't believe that you should be doing the things you do because you expect sex in return. Love should mean more than that. Love is deeper than that, and it should reflect in your thoughts, in the way you engage with women, in the way you speak to them, and in the way you interact with them. And if you keep that in mind, you will go very far where women are concerned. Before a woman will give sex to you, or before a woman will give her body to you, she needs to be able to trust you. She needs to be sure that you will not just take her and run. There are not that many women who can just give up themselves and not feel emotionally, physically, psychologically attached to you. And so you need to consider and take all these things into consideration when you are dealing with women. Number 4 would be talking to other people about it. Now, I know sometimes you can be in so much pain, you could feel so much betrayal. Sometimes you just might be downright confused and may want to reach out to a friend or two, or just to your group of boys, and just like have a conversation and find out whether it's something that they're going through as well. Resist that temptation, resist that urge, because see, not all friends are really friends, for starters. There are some guys who may go behind your back and say all sorts of things to her. 1, 2, even try their own hands at trying to get her to do things that they want her to do. It can get complicated. It can get nasty. I think, depending on the level of your relationship, if it really bothers you that much, and if it really is a problem, then you might want to seek, professional advice, professional help instead. Professional opinion always, carries a lot more weight. It's coming from an informed position and comes with a little more experience where those matters are concerned. And I feel like if you pay more attention to that, you're more likely to have some pretty solid advice, sound advice as well, that you can use and possibly approach the situation better, come back with a better solution that will benefit both of you, and something that will keep the relationship intact as well, as opposed to her hearing that you've told your friends about it and getting really, really upset because maybe one friend couldn't keep their mouth closed. There's that too. And finally, number 5, before I tell you what you should do, the last mistake you need to avoid when your woman wouldn't give you sex is not keeping an open mind. Now, sometimes, all men hear is no, I'm not going to give you sex. But what they're not also hearing is, no, I can't give you sex because of reason A, reason B, reason C, and reason D. And sometimes these reasons that the woman may have may be very, very genuine. And it could be religious, it could be moral. And both of these, for instance, reasons could carry a lot of weight. What people believe in is a very difficult thing to shake, especially when it comes, her no's coming from a point of religion. Getting her to go against her beliefs can be a very tough one. When it's coming from morals, it's also another very tough one to shake. You should look more into the future, think more, a little deeper into the future, where I'm saying, if you are dating a woman who is not willing to just give up the cookie to anyone, you can trust that this woman will still stay faithful to you if she is faced with another similar situation in the future. When you guys are together, you know for sure that she's never going to give herself to just anybody, because she's faced with a temptation. And those days will come. Those temptations will come. You understand? So sometimes you need to think deeper, look a little further, into situations and into things that people say, and you wouldn't take it so personally. So these are just a few things I'd like you to consider, think about, and keep in mind. So before I go and tell you what exactly you need to do instead, remember that this video is sponsored by Passion Air. Go to flypassionair.com to book a ticket today if ever you make it to the motherland and you're looking to travel from one city to the other. And if you live in the UK, Canada, or the US and you'd like to send money to Africa, there are 10 African countries you can actually send money to. Just simply download the Lemonade Finance app today, and you can also get a 10% cash back off your first transaction above £100 if you use my code JessicaOS. I'll leave a link in the description below. Just click on that link and you should be good to go. You can download that app and start sending money to all your loved ones back home. All right, thank you so much. Let's get back into the video. Now, what can you do about it instead of making these mistakes? Real quick, I'll take you through a few pointers. Number one, have an open conversation with her to find out what exactly the issue is. Trying to really understand her instead of throwing a tantrum and saying, if you love me, you'll do this. If you love me, you'll do that. Trying to really sit her down and understand where she's coming from and the reason why she no longer wants to do it, or she doesn't want to give it up at all from the beginning, will give you some insights, will give you some perspective, will allow you to empathize with her, and when women feel heard, it's a really good thing, because they feel like, okay, this guy understands me, he's willing to listen, he really wants to make this work, make our relationship means a lot to him, you understand, as opposed to it's all about him. He's being selfish. He just wants sex and he wouldn't hear me or listen to me. My opinion doesn't matter. Number two, let her also understand what intimacy means to you, right? Intimacy has different levels. You can be intimate without having sex. There are different things that you can do. If you want a separate video on that, maybe I can make that. But I'm just saying, let her understand that you need to feel that connection. And see if she's willing to compromise on some kind of level. Even if she doesn't want to give you like the actual thing. Like, is she willing to cuddle? Is she willing to sleep over? Is she willing to do a few things that at least will make you feel a little more loved, as opposed to like nothing at all because of, say, her religion or whatever else is holding her back, right? Try and draw her in. Try and reach a compromise. That would be a really good way to approach it. Number three, you're going to have to take a decision to stay or to go. Because at that point, you sort of have a good sense of where she's at, what she wants to do, where this is concerned, measure it, whether you can be in a relationship without sex or you can't do without it. So if you meet a woman who says, look, I cannot do this, I don't want to have sex, what does it mean? It means it's a no-no. You put on the back burner, you seek out someone else who's willing to go at it like rabbits, right? You really need to do some introspection at this point. Is this the kind of woman that you want? Is this the kind of woman that you need? Are you willing to stick it out? Is she worth it? Is she going to be worth it in the end? And finally, when you do take that decision, stick to it. Okay? Because you want to be a man of your words. If you tell her that, look, babe, I hear you. It's not going to be easy, but I want to stick to it. I want to stay faithful to you because I believe in us, right? Or if you also say, look, I know the kind of person that I am. I know that I can't stay faithful to you. I may tell you that I will, but I won't. And so, because I know I can't do this, I'm going to let you go, right? Whatever it is that you decide, stick to that plan, communicate it effectively, and trust me, she'll respect you for it. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, remember to smash the like button, share it with someone else who might find it beneficial, and I will catch you in the next one. My name is Jessica. Thanks for watching. See you later.